it got worse, and we have a son, and my focus was on him and him only, and I just like let myself kind of fade into the dark. But then we both got into a program, got clean, so.
Oh, I'm so proud of you. And you guys, not just you, him too, because sometimes one person want to get help, but the other person doesn't. So the fact that you both want to get help and actually take the steps on your sobriety and your mental health and your physical health, and now you're doing this. That's a big accomplishment. I'm truly proud of you guys.
I appreciate it.
So, as you can see, today's video is going to be about extremely matted hair. Yes, welcome to West Coast Finest. And today, this video is not to mock her, it's not to shame her, and it's not to ridicule her in any shape, form, or fashion. I first want to give a shout out to Love 518 for what you do, my sister. For detangling extremely matted hair is definitely a gift that many of us cannot do. I am a hairstylist and I specialize in clients with alopecia, which is hair loss, damaged hair, thin hair, but I don't think that I have the patience to deal with matted hair to this extent. I can do a little matted, yes, but this is severe matted hair. A lot of stress and a lot of depression within people, and one of the most major side effects of depression is not combing hair. And if you are experiencing something like this video is to show you that you're not alone and that there is help somewhere. So let's get into this video. I want to first again give a shout out to Love 518, and let's go to her right now. She has a special announcement that I want to share with you guys. Yes.
Before we jump into this video, I'd like to make a quick announcement. So your girl was published in the Washington Post. Yes, that happened. I am so happy and grateful that I was able to share a little bit about me and how this whole process started. And if you want to read the full story, click on the link in my description area and enjoy the rest of the video.
For an
Yes, so I want to give a shout out to Love 518. Yes, congratulations, my sister, for getting in the Washington Post. You are definitely deserving of that and much more. So, yes, let's get back into this video so we can see the story behind what is going on with this lady who has extremely matted hair.
active addiction, and that sent us in like full-blown active addiction. I didn't want to get out of bed. It got worse, and we have a son, and my focus was on him and him only.
Look at her
And I just like
hair.
let myself kind of fade into the dark. But then we both got into a program, got clean. So.
Oh, I'm so proud.
So it sounds like addiction was her reason for maybe not combing her hair, and her hair ended up in this situation that she's in. So let's continue to see what Love 518 does for her.
Of everyone is going through something, and it's how you deal with things. And I am so proud of her for just making the step of not only changing her life, but coming in to seek help and be free of this big ball of hair that you see back there. So this is the
Oh my gosh, just look at that though. It is just one big ball of matted hair. But what it looks like to me is the front is kind of straight. Um, if you're looking at the very front of her hair, it looks like it's straight, and maybe she was kind of pulling that straight hair that's not natted and matted all up over that big ball that has just matted into just looks like one big dreadlock. So let's see.
The end of day 1, and you see what we got accomplished so far. So now I'm just gonna let you guys sit back, watch the video, and listen to her testimony and answer some of the questions that you guys ask all the time.
I was the only person in the world this happened. That's why I couldn't find anyone to help me, because I'm the only person that, this is going on to, so there's probably no one out there that can help me with this. But I was refused to give up finding someone. And for some reason, because YouTube is so big in our house between my son and my husband, I was like, let me just type into YouTube how to tangle matted hair, and your video came up.
Yay.
And I was like, and then I remember thinking, oh my god. But then I remember after that, before I even remotely clicked on it, I said, she probably lives in Alaska. Why am I gonna bother?
Alaska.
Although I would travel there to go. But, and then I clicked on it, and I saw you were, in Florida. I was like, oh my god. I said, alright, game over. I've already lived this pain for 3 years almost. I'm done. People all the time are like, oh, you must not brushed your hair. I can attest, I brushed my hair every day, even when it was like this, to make sure that the hair that was not tangled was not going to get in there too. As you were staying in a hotel, and I remember feeling that when I was brushing my hair, it wasn't, the knots were not coming out, because like I said, my hair never really tangled. If it did, when I was brushing it, after the shower or something like that, if there was a problem there, you just brush a few times and it would come out. But then I felt back, and I felt like a round bump. And I was like, oh, there's something in my hair. I thought it was gum, to be honest. I was like, what did I sleep in? Did my son leave something on the pillow? And I asked my husband to check, and he said, oh, you just got a little rat's nest, is what he called it. So I spent, kid you not, probably 3 or 4 hours. I looked online on how to detangle a huge tangle in a hair, that was more than just a few brushes type of tangle.
Yeah.
I don't know, for some reason it told me to use apple cider vinegar, so I went, bought some, sprayed it on, spent 3 to 4 hours trying to do exactly what you're doing. My arm burned, hurt, I wanted to cry and die, but it literally was almost gone. I rinsed it in the shower, because I shampooed and stuff to get the apple cider stuff off. I went to bed, and then the next day, it was still there, and I tried to get it out, and it just wasn't budging, but I was like, it's small enough, I'll just get it out the next day. That next day turned into almost 3 years, because I had other things in life going on.
Yeah.
So, people, when we're talking, and people say, how could you let this happen? I had a son to raise.
Yeah.
I couldn't just tell my son, hold on, mommy needs 8-9 million hours.
Yes.
I don't know how long it's going to take.
And it's uncomfortable to do in that position too. You're doing your own head, to hold your arms up for that long. So
this is the first thing that I want to kind of elaborate on what she's saying, and that is, you think that you're alone. When you're going through something like this and you're not combing your hair and you see or you feel that first knot or that first tangle, you kind of figure oh, it's not that bad. Oh, I'll get it out later. And that one tangle leads to two, or gets matted and it gets bigger and bigger. And then you start feeling I'm the only one that this happened to. I can't go in anywhere. Nobody's going to be able to touch this. And it continues to get worse and worse. Or, like she said, you have other obligations. You're working. We as women, we're cooking, cleaning, working, shopping, taking care of kids. Some of us are old enough to have grandchildren. So we're doing so many different things throughout the day. And we tend to neglect ourselves. We tend to not do self-care, which leads to things like our hair matting or us not taking care of our hair. So we have to remember, and that's why I'm sharing this video, is one, you're not alone if you're already at this stage where your hair is matted and tangled and you can't get it out. Two, we need to practice self-care. We need to take care of ourselves. We need to make us a priority sometimes. And like I say, as women, we have a hard time doing that because we have so many other obligations, but it's just a must. We must take care of ourselves at some point and make us a priority. So let's just jump back into the video and listen to her story because she is very open, and I'm really, really thankful, proud, and enjoying that she is so open and sharing her story so that it can help other people.
You give up.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, oh, and then when you're also fighting, you're already the depression and
Yes.
anxiety that I was fighting. Plus, I was in active addiction. When you're in active addiction, I mean, at the time, when I say it was an active addiction, I was still a functioning mother, though.
Yes.
My son has always come first with my husband and I, always. But still, at the end of the day, we were both addicts.
Yeah, you're self-coping.
And
you're grieving.
Yeah.
Like, a lot changed overnight. You went from, like I said, you should just be so proud of yourself, man, because it's not easy. Like, it's easy for people to throw rocks and throw stones, but, man, like I tell people, your life and your situation manifested through this part of your hair. There's other people that their stuff is manifesting through overeating or under eating, drinking, out here in these streets just doing whatever, gambling or depressed or being stuck in the house. Like, their things show up other ways. Yours just show up this way.
I would like to say something about that because I see that all the time when I was watching your videos about the whole just cut it off, Don't, well, unfortunately, when I was actually in the stage of maybe I'll just get a pixie cut, I was told that wasn't actually couldn't happen. All the hairdressers that I went to said, oh, we can't even do a pixie cut for you. We have to shave you bald. So I wasn't even afforded that option then. I didn't know I could.
That's another thing too. The client that I had who left her hair up for 3 years, that was one of the things that she feared, is that going into a salon that she would be judged, that she would be put down, that she would be shamed, and that they would just turn her away. Actually, she did try a couple of salons who were like, there's nothing that I can do for you. So once you kind of get turned down like that, it does become very discouraging. So just to hear her say that too is very interesting.
So, but then it got to the point where I had put so much into my recovery, and this was a big part of that life, and I'm gonna be damned if my addiction that I fought so hard to get over, everything was just gonna take something else from me. No, I want to fight for one. Well, not just that, but some people don't realize that just because you've cut that off, it doesn't mean I didn't deal with it,
Yeah.
I faced it head on. And guess what? If I'm doing it this way, I get to keep something that I wanted to keep.
Yeah.
Not because I had to get rid of it.
Oh.
In order, to
Oh, I'm happy you said that. I am so happy you said that.
Very touching.
Because a lot of times people just don't get it. So I'm happy they heard it from your mouth.
My husband said, he's like, I would tell them to cut their hair off. Like, they don't know what someone's going through.
Yeah, they don't. People always
Right.
A lot
assume.
of people pass judgment on those people when, they could be someone who is fighting, cancer, or someone who's bedridden,
Yeah.
Because when you're bedridden, and it's not just from depression, it can be for any reason. And yes, it can sometimes be from depression and anxiety. People who don't suffer from anxiety and depression may not know, but it can make you knocked out of bed.
Yeah.
It can.
And so when you're bedridden and you
witness.
can't even physically get up, you obviously can't take care of yourself. It's crazy to me that people can be I had to deal with, I'm sure a lot of people who are in this situation deal with a lot of mean and hurtful things and assumptions. Believe me, I didn't go to bed saying, oh, I wish in the morning my hair would be matted and it would weigh 10 million pounds is what it feels like. And it hurts, and I just can't wait for that to happen in the morning.
It is. That's why I tell people, if you're coming to see me, that means you're ready for change. It's something that's getting ready to change in your life, or it's changing now, and that you just could no longer carry this with you anymore.
So, as we can see, she has a real story. She has a story that is very touching. It is very emotional. It sounds like she's had some addiction in her past that had led to her neglecting her hair and not keeping her hair up. And that's what led to a lot of the matting that she's experiencing now. So I just want to say too, like she said, you never know what someone's story is. You never really know what someone is going through to get them to this point and get them to this stage. So we just need to be considerate and we need to be concerned with people and be a little compassionate and have a little sympathy for them. Although it is real and we need to keep it real and let them know that it's still not okay. It's not okay to do this to ourselves. It's not okay to neglect our hair. It's not okay to go around and hide it. Because a lot of people are hiding it, whether it's under a wig, under a hat, or just staying in the house so that no one can see them. It's not okay, and it's just not it's not healthy. It's not healthy. So we need to be aware and we need to help those around us that are suffering from something like this, like depression that's causing our hair to not be combed and to be matted like this. So let's get back into the video. Let's see how far and what Love 518 has accomplished on, I think this is day 2.
Out how her hair worked 3 days later.
3
So I
days
found a trick to
later.
her hair, and you won't believe
Wow.
it, guys. So this is what's
Believe
left
it.
to do.
Believe it.
Look what's left to do. What I got completed so far. Now I'm gonna blow your mind. Look what is attached to, guys. Literally attached to this much hair.
Whoa.
So all this is just a hair ball of old matted hair, like
It's no
over
good.
100,000 strands of hair that's in that bag and that's
There's
attached to her
no
head.
way
She has
that,
no
what are
bald
you,
spots here. Even her texture hair is a different texture now because it's been matted for so long. Her hair is very fine. So I found a
yeah.
trick to what was going on. So now, versus spending hours detangling this, I am finding another way to get to it. So I am almost done. Ready? Set.
Gotta be cut off. Yes.
Jump in my love.
It just gotta be cut off. I figured that. What could you do with that? It's just dead hair.
I can't believe you called my.
I know.
Look at that.
Todd is going in the garbage.
Oh
Him and his
my
cousins
God.
gotta
No,
go.
she needs to keep that.
Him and his family gotta go.
Oh my God.
She
Look at
needs to
this.
keep that.
Oh.
She needs to keep all that so
All
that
this
she
hair
can see it
that was
again.
trapped in there.
I think that it is very important that she keeps that so that she can constantly be reminded so that this won't happen again. Because the worst thing is to go through this whole process and then repeat it all over again. So that's one of the things that I learned with my client whose hair that left her hair up for 3 years. Once we got that off her head, I wish I would have let her keep it. Just as a reminder, sometimes we need to be reminded of things that we do, mistakes that we make in our lives, so that we don't repeat those same mistakes again. So yeah, hey, let her keep that. She need
Plus
to take it
Todd.
home.
Yes. Do you feel different now?
Named it Todd.
Now
I
your
feel
neck.
back my old self.
Oh my goodness.
She could
Go ahead,
feel
cry.
the
Maybe you should
back
teach your
of
girl
her
that out. I've
hair.
been holding it too long. This is heavy, y'all. In here.
Oh my
All
gosh.
this hair. And we gotta name this one. What's the name of this one?
What's this one? What's this one? Oh, we got another one? Okay.
Yeah.
Todd and Tom.
Todd and Tom.
Todd and Tom. Oh my
Tom.
This
gosh.
hair. And it's still a little bit stuck in the bag. This is a lot
That
of hair to be
is a
carrying
lot
for
of hair.
3 years. It is finally, oh God, we're finally done. Thank you,
Wow.
Jesus.
I'm
We
so
are
happy
done.
for her.
So I'm going to do some keratin. Her hair texture is a whole nother texture now.
I'm so
Imagine
happy
how
for
good
her
it
though.
feels. Like,
You going to sleep like a baby tonight. You can actually sleep on the back of your head now.
Yeah, she can sleep on the back.
Girl, look at
I
that.
legit I haven't been able to sleep. Like,
Aww.
because I can't. I don't know.
No, girl, don't cry. It's okay. Get your tissue, girl. It's okay. You are free. I'm so happy I
No,
was able to
she's
set you
making
free,
me
girl. Look
cry,
at this.
honey.
This is
I'm
why I do
really
it.
so
To set people
happy for
free.
her.
Not physically, but
Just to
just
get
also
rid
mentally,
of all
spiritually. Like,
that
look at
on her
this.
head.
And she not bald head. This is why she had to cut it off, because I saved it.
Yeah, I could have
Saved
been
it.
bald headed.
You could have
For
been
all the
shaved.
people that said
Saved
shave your
her.
head, then I would have had to live with a shaved head for God knows how long.
And explain it.
Wow, she can get a real wash. Look at that, though. It's just a whole different texture at the end. Oh, yay. I'm so happy for her. Oh, she got herself back. Now you know her self-confidence and her self-esteem has got to be lifted. You are amazing, Love 518. You never know what someone is going through. Be kind.